Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tim Gilmore, president of Wilkes University, and I want you to know how pleased we are to have you with us this evening.
30 years ago, a group of Judge Max Rosenn's law clerks decided to honor their mentor with a very special gift. They knew in real ways Judge Rosenn's love of learning, his sense of community, his willingness to share his knowledge of the law and life with them, his commitment to public service, his optimism, his vision for a better tomorrow, and his reputation for civility, fairness, and respect. To affirm and support these values, the law clerks, with help from Judge Rosenn's former partners at the law firm he established, members of the judge's family, and many of his friends, established a lecture series that bears Judge Rosenn's name. Since its beginnings, the men and women who gave life to this idea saw to it that some of the best minds with the brightest and most insightful ideas for positive growth, peaceful resolution of conflict, tolerance, understanding, and goodwill would grace the stage at Wilkes University.
We are extraordinarily fortunate tonight to welcome as our Rosenn Lecturer Dr. Doris Kearns Goodwin.
I remember once talking to Lyndon Johnson in those last years of his life. He said, "You're not listening to me. I'm telling you something important. Get married, have children, spend time with them. That's the only form of immortality that will ever really matter."
Please welcome the one, the only, irreplaceable, and unprecedented American Proteus, Norman Mailer.
Well, that was a fulsome introduction, and I enjoyed every word of it. So we're going to talk about 6 or 7 presidents tonight, in a hurry, obligatorily.
Well, our speaker tonight is Amy Chua, who is a professor of law at the Yale Law School.
Let me begin by taking all of you back to 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the death of communism, as I'm sure many of you remember, a kind of consensus.
There are a number of truly great judges who should have served on the U.S. Supreme Court. Our speaker tonight, Judge Abner Mikver, is one of those judges.
We are living closer and closer together all the time, and there simply is no room for us to continue to pack justice on our hip and be a civilized society.
It's now my distinct pleasure to introduce the 22nd Annual Rosenn Lecturer, Robin Wright.
In Iraq and Afghanistan, the United States has proven it can easily win wars. We now need to prove we can win the peace and open the way for the democracy we so believe in and cherish.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Senator Professor Paul Simon of Illinois.
I think people look at Congress today and they say, you're playing games instead of attending to the public interest.
Zanny Minton-Beddoes is economics editor for The Economist.
I'm going to talk about America's economy, how much of a mess it's in, and where it's heading. And I apologize for putting a somewhat somber tone on the end of your Sunday evening. But the truth is that America's economy is facing its biggest challenge in 80 years.
What Dan said to me changed my whole attitude toward teaching. He said, you know, I get so close to these people when I have a chance to treat them as a pediatrician, but I can't get inside of them. And that's what I really want to do. And to me, that is the answer to what we all ought to be looking for in medicine. How do we get inside of people?
I would like to ask all of you to join me in welcoming the 29th Max Rosenn Lecturer in Law and Humanities, a truly extraordinary man, Mr. Greg Mortensen.
So I wrote a book called 3 Cups of Tea. What it means is, though, the first cup, you're a stranger, second cup, a friend, and the third cup, you become family. For a family, we're prepared to do anything, even die.
These are the names, the faces, and the voices of those outstanding men and women who came here to tell their stories. Together, they form a collage of accomplishment, courage, hope, insight, and inspiration. They are the legacy of the Max Rosenn Lecture Series in Law and Humanities, and we are the beneficiaries of their voices of wisdom in a world of change.
Thank you to the Rosenn family, and thank you to Wilkes University. Thank you.